Hello, and welcome to my channel. The name I go by is The Ghost in Your Dreams. I will explain more about this in a minute. First, I want to explain why I chose to wear a mask. My mask is worn to protect my identity. I go by The Ghost in Your Dreams because I haunt the people who have abused me. I'm 29 years old, and I'm hoping to help others survive being abused. At birth, my life sucked. I was adopted at the age of 2 years old with my 2-month-old half-brother. The family who adopted me only wanted my white half-brother. I'm not racist, but I'm not white either. My mother made sure I remembered this. At the age of 7 years old and 6 years old, my brother started molesting me in our room. This escalated to rape when he was 8 and I was 9. This lasted till I was 17 and ran away from home. As the abuse got worse, so did his rage. He would choke me, hit me, and kick me till he got what he wanted. He choked me till I blacked out once. He thought I was dead. My parents knew he was abusing me. Most of the time, Mom was physically and mentally abusing me, so she joined in. Dad never helped. Too scared to say anything, I took it all for 10 years. I survived by shutting down and learning to turn all of the abuse into turn-ons. This did screw me up a lot, and most can't understand why this happened to me. It is hard on me some days, but I have a best friend and boyfriend who understands me. I learned to cope by ordering free things online, writing letters to people, going to school. I'm in college right now. Ordering puzzle books, fill-ins, word search, variety packs. I print out mandalas and more. Getting mail makes me excited too. Most of the things I get are free. Most of the things I order are cheap or relatively good on most days. The prices are very cheap because I'm on SSI for my disability. I have been told I had fetal alcohol syndrome. I was 3 years old and got diagnosed with that. I, however, have recently been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, apparently, from the doctor I just learned about. Anyway, I have 2 kids. I don't see them. It's not because I can't. It's because it hurts me to see them and causes me a lot of grief. I have one daughter who's autistic who I had custody of until she was, I want to say 5. And she is my pride and joy. My 7-year-old hasn't seen me in 2 years, but that I'm hoping will change once I graduate college because apparently being on SSI, it makes me a bad person. So I have decided to go to college and show everybody who told me that I wasn't going to amount to anything that I could become something in my life. I love my kids and miss them, but I need to do college and then they will come home. Because once you're not disabled, it doesn't matter. I have been able to manage myself pretty well here since leaving where I grew up. I used to live where pretty close to the people who abused me, and I was able to find somewhere else to go and move to a whole new state, which is new to me because I've never been out of the States. So, this is a new state for me, and I love it here, except for being snowed in and the rain and the thunder and lightning and stuff like that. Those things scare me kind of. Anyway, I do color a lot pretty often. Behind me you can see the pictures that I've colored, and those are what I do pretty often. I also write letters to people. I have pretty much all my school supplies that I got. Most people would say are really crazy, but I've gotten so many school supplies for free. I have I how I managed to do this was because I was abused for so long. I used the fact that I was, and the fact that I'm learning to cope with it and learning to better myself and make a change in my life, a drastic change if you ask me, for the last 9 months, that it is needed for me to use the school supplies for furthering my career and my school. So I have been shipped misprint labeled things, which when you write people, if you have been abused or anything, if you write people and you tell them about your situation and how you're doing, and even if you are one of those people who are broke and can't afford to get school supplies for your kid, I strongly recommend you go online and ask for people to send you things. Because getting something for free, way better than getting it for expensive or whatever. There's also businesses that will send you things. I have 10 colored pens, which I will show you at some point during one of my videos, that I got for free, which I ordered, shockingly, online, and I got them for free. Didn't pay a dime. I've also gotten a calculator from the same company. I have gotten chapstick, because girls, come on, we all need chapstick, right? I have gotten these chapsticks, or lip balms, whatever you want to call them, and I have at least 40 of chapsticks and lip balms that I have gotten that are just free. People just give them to you. And these things that I'm showing you right now are the chapsticks. They're pretty cool. I have also been able to get print out my printer, my laser printer that I've had for, I want to say 6 months now. I'm probably going to have to change the drum out at some point because I print so much on it. But printing helps me cope with everything too. I print out my puzzles. There's 2 sets that I go on for my fill-in puzzles, and they always redo the puzzles every day. So you go on there and you print them. I have also found word search sites that have different word searches that they give out. I think there's over like 6,000 of them or something on one of them. And it's called All Printer Word Search or something like that. Anyway, I'll explain that too in my video. My video is pretty much for the people who feel like just because they've been abused that they have nowhere to turn. I thought that too, and I want people to know that there's other things you can do other than sitting down and shutting down. I have shut down most of my life. More than half of it I can't even remember sometimes. And that's just how it goes, you don't feel like you're important enough, and you shut down, and you eventually have to make a decision. Do you want to come out, or do you want to keep staying shut down? And my way of doing it was, I was done being shut down. You can do so much more with your life. There's a lot of things that you can do. If you've ever seen Extreme Cheapskates, you'll know they do things too and those people have money, that they do. They have money, and that they're spending the money that the network gives them for being cheapskates. Okay, that's just, those people are crazy to me. Like, there's some people on there that dumpster dive. Okay, I would dumpster dive, but I wouldn't eat food that came out of a dumpster unless it was donuts and I knew when it was put in there and it had a plastic bag around it. Like, like donuts from Dunkin' Donuts that they throw away the old ones, I would do that if they were in a bag and they were still sterile. But there's other places that I've gone to. I used to get these boxes that had huge, huge food things in them. They would have chips and power bars and things that are outdated, but still edible. All power bars are, for the most part, edible until whatever. They might have an expiration date, but that doesn't matter. I've also been able to order, not order, but I've been able to do things that have been cheap and free for me because of the situation. And your situation means a lot to others. And I've even gotten toothbrushes, shockingly, for no amount of money. Like, I have written places and they gave them to me. I have gotten toothpaste for free and floss for free. And these things aren't because I'm dumpster diving, it's because I talk to people and explain the situation and explain how my life has sucked and I'm trying to change it. And explain that sometimes I don't have the money to get the things I need, like toothbrushes and things like that. I mean, ladies, do you ever feel like you need makeup? There's a site called Wish that you can get it for pretty much nothing. I have been able to afford makeup for myself. Do I wear it all the time? No. But it's cheap, and being on a budget, I have to be able to get what I want and still be cheap. The reason I'm telling you these things is because this is how I cope with my abuse and my disability. You do not have to, feel alone or by yourself or hate yourself. I used to hate myself. When I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself, honestly. Sometimes I look and I'm just like, yeah, that's not me. And then there's other times where I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. Or the times where, there's just not, I don't know. It's a hard thing to do, to learn how to be able to cope with everything that you've been through. I mean, rape, abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. It's all in one. And in my head, it's all been there. But the worst part of it was, and I hate saying it, but people are wrong. Physical abuse is not as hard as mental abuse and emotional abuse. I think that those are the hardest ones to handle because with the mental and the emotional abuse, nobody gives a crap. No, you can tell the world that it's happening to you, and they just look at you and go, yeah, okay, whatever. If you don't have bruises, nobody's gonna give a crap. There's a point where a judge had seen me being abused in her courtroom, or in her chambers, and she just let it happen. Like, how the hell can you sit there and let it happen to someone? And you know it's happening. You're a judge. You have to be smarter than most people, right? Well, apparently she wasn't, and she was against me being with my kid because I'm disabled. And I'm on disability, and my daughter is too. Just because you're disabled does not make you a bad parent, and I'm here to tell you that 100%, dude. It is not true. And just because people use it against you, it doesn't make it true either. I used to think all the time that because they said it, it made it true. When I was growing up, my mom used to say I would amount to nothing, and I would be nothing, and I am nothing. And how nobody would be able to love me, and that nobody would be able to look past my disability. And I used to think she was right until I was about, I guess, 29 right now. I know she's wrong. It it hurts to know that somebody who was supposed to adopt you and love you and care for you, they didn't care. They fed me to the wolves. My brother was allowed to do whatever the hell he wanted to me. I mean, and they didn't care. They were my parents and they didn't care. And I don't understand how people, adults especially, just because I'm 29 does not make me adult people. I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm so sick of hearing, you're an adult, you can do that. It's such crap. You're an adult, but like just because you're 29 doesn't make you an adult. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm 29 and feel like I'm 18, and I know that's hard for some people to understand, but growing up, I didn't grow up like normal people. So to me, I finished school early because I was 17, because I was in special needs classes. And trust me, in school, my special needs classes, they didn't really do any good to me. They were babysitting us pretty much. That's all they did. And keeping us out of trouble, apparently. So they were glorified babysitters as far as I'm concerned. My teachers, when I was growing up, I wanted them to teach us. I begged them and begged them to teach me. And they just looked at me like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Like, it was almost as if nobody has ever asked them to teach them anything. And it was just like, okay. So then, eventually, they got sick of it and kicked me out. I was 17 when I graduated. I did graduate high school. I'm very proud of that. Then they put me in another school, which made them even more glorified babysitters. I don't know why we were even there. Nobody taught us anything. And I asked them to teach us something like math or even something basic because I wanted to know things. I wanted to learn. Nobody did it. They got so pissed they kicked me out of that school. At 20, I think I was 20 years old when they did that. But it was near Dairy Queen, so when they kicked me out, I just went over there. But just because you want to learn something, it doesn't mean you give up when a teacher says don't. You know? And right now, I'm in college, and I've been in college for 9 months. I'm doing it online. And I think I'm doing pretty good. I haven't gotten I got one F on an assignment, but that's because she wasn't teaching me very well. So, because of that, I felt really bad and I wanted to quit. Well, 6 months later, I am still in college. And I am still trying to do my best work in there. Once I'm out of college, my hope and dream, shockingly, has changed because growing up, I wanted to be an American Sign Language teacher. Yeah, that didn't happen. Obviously. I do know sign language, and that is my second language. Spanish was never my second language, although I am learning some, but not very much. But when someone tells you can't do something, it's hard not to, be upset about it. So I got upset about it because my parents told me I would never amount to it. So once I graduated and everything and was out of the house, I ended up going down a worse path. No drugs. I'm not a druggie. But I went down a path where I didn't want anyone to talk to me or see me or do anything with me. So then this year, after I turned 29, actually 2 months before I turned 29, I enrolled in a college online, and I was homeless at the time. I was sleeping in the car, and as I was in the car, they kept harassing me. I don't know if I want to call it harassment, but they kept calling me and emailing me and calling me. Like daily, this college would call me at least 5 to 10 times in a day, and I was just like, oh my god, why won't they give up? And because I didn't think I was ready to do it. So then it came down to, apparently someone called me and she was talking to me about my life, and we got to talking, and the next thing I know, I'm enrolling in college. And with her help, of course. Because I couldn't do it on my own. That was so much work. And I did it all in 2 days. And then the next day, I started my college. By March 31st, 2016, I was in college. And I was proud to be in college. Being in college gave me confidence that I didn't have growing up. Growing up being ripped apart all the time, your confidence is gone. You don't have it. And so I learned how to get it back. And over the 9 months, I have been getting C's and D, or I think I got 1D one time, but that was algebra. And come on, who's going to use algebra? And I do that to help myself learn and cope with everything going on. And I want to be able to help others. So I'm going to keep doing my video blogs. And hopefully everybody's going to learn that just because you went through something so terrible and so horrible, it doesn't mean you have to give up. I didn't give up, and I'm still here. And if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I can help you out. I will probably be doing 2 or 3 vids a month, or a week, I'm not sure. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But this is my first one, and I probably messed up a lot. But I want to post this one anyway because I think it's really good for you guys to know that there are others out there who have survived. And we see the videos of the survivors, but we don't know how they survived. And I'm going to be the one to tell you how I survived it. And teach you how to get free things. And if you know anything about, as you learn about me, everything that I get in the mail is either cheap or free. So I will teach you how to do that. And you'll also hopefully learn that your abuse can be turned into a positive. Well, I don't know if I would say positive, but it would be less negative for you to think about it. I guess that's how I want to say it. But anyway, I hope to hear from you guys in the video chat blog thing, and I will be checking and seeing if anybody wants to talk or whatever, or if you guys have questions, let me know. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.